Well, welcome everyone to today's segment. And we are here because we want to invite you and encourage you to continue your journey on your NLP mastery or on your way to NLP mastery. My name is Brigitta Hoeferle. I'm very honored and excited as the CEO of the Center of NLP to be here with you. This webinar is for all, not just for a few, but for all NLP practitioners and ongoing NLP masters, because you did not just take an NLP practitioner course to stay where you're at. You are going to continue to learn the advanced NLP techniques and language patterns to become an even better NLP practitioner, an even better business person, an even better partner, an even better spouse, an even better parent, an even better fill in the blanks, whatever you want to become better at. Because this is not about us, this is about you. And today we're introducing our upcoming workshop called the Crossroads of NLP. As you are choosing your path, you'll get a taste of some of our most advanced NLP content on this webinar. And let's jump right in and get started, because I am here with the one, the only Major Harris, and I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more about Major. But before I do that, I want to share with you really quick, who am I? How did I become the CEO of the Center of NLP, a center that has been established in 1986 and was one of the founding members of the Society of NLP? We don't have necessarily any, we can say we are founding members of the Society of NLP. I'll just leave it at that. But my background is in education. I came to the United States in 2004 to build a Montessori school. I did that. We built the school to educate 125 students. To this day, we went and got into a bigger facility over the pandemic. So our business grew over the pandemic. I'm out of the day-to-day operations. And as I was building the business, I found neurolinguistic programming, as many of you already know my story. And I found that children are innocent by nature. It is the adults around them that shape them and sometimes even screw them up. So I really, for my own sake, for my own children, poured more into continuous learning with the advanced techniques of NLP. And that's why I'm here. And that's why I'm a grandmaster of NLP. And I own the Center of NLP from my own master that I learned from Life Roland. And I am here with Major and I, and he'll tell the story of how we met. But Major Harris is an incredible businessman. When he speaks, I listen. I do not just mentor him, he also mentors me in some areas. And I am so grateful that Major is here with us today, as he's not just an NLP practitioner. He's not just an NLP master. He is a true at heart NLP master on its great way to grand mastery. Major, thank you for being here and welcome to this webinar.
Oh, Brigitta, thank you so much for having me here. I'm super excited to be here to share with everyone that should sign up for this course. Brigitta and I first met at briefly at a Tony Robbins event and in much greater depth at a Codebreaker event. At that time, it was still called it was a bank event at that point. It was a bank summit, I think they were calling them then.
Yeah.
And we got to know each other a lot more in depth. My background, a little bit about me, where I came from. My university training is in electrical engineering. Actually left university and went to work with a racing team. We did endurance racing in the American Le Mans Series and European Le Mans Series. Traveled all over chasing race cars, making history. And through those travels, met the love of my life. And she said, I definitely want to move forward with our relationship. However, I'm not going to be a newlywed at home alone. So I had to make a change in my life, had to find a way to get off the road. And ended up in sales. That's how I got involved with Tony Robbins. That's how I got involved with Codebreaker and Bank Code. That's how I came to meet Brigitta. So everything works out exactly the way that it's supposed to. Everything fell into place just exactly the way that it should, and brought me to where we are right now. We, in the last 12 months, have been recognized as one of the top 10 agencies for production in our district with Farmers Insurance. We were top 5 in specialty and umbrella production. I was named the Young Professional of the Year by my county chamber of commerce, and we have built a net worth of over 1.5 million in the last 18 months through real estate. And I say this not to impress you, but to impress upon you the power that the NLP patterns and successes have had in our life. My wife is her first 3 codes are blueprint, right? She's the blueprintiest, most risk-averse person you've ever met in your life. And her and I were talking about, does it make sense to move forward? Can we afford to move forward with Brigitta and the Center of NLP? And her exact words to me were, how could we afford not to?
And kudos to you, Major, for realizing that that kind of valuable asset as Danielle is in your life, that you cannot let that pass. I think that was probably one of the smartest decisions, if not the smartest decisions ever in your life. So
Absolutely.
congratulations.
Absolutely.
So Major, tell me about, so Danielle clearly had an impact on you guys working with the Center of NLP, and you've come and taken the practitioner course, not first you and then maybe Danielle, but you came together, you took the practitioner course together. Then I think you retook it again together. And then you also took the Crossroads and then the Master course. Tell me a little bit about why the Center of NLP, why Brigitta. You know, there are other NLP programs out there. Why not them? Why us?
So one of the great things about Brigitta, about the Center of NLP, and about our training is they do a very good job of going step by step by step by step through all of the material, and they do it in a way that makes it fun, which is great, right? Because if it's not fun, I'm not doing it. And she also provides Brigitta and John give you a full workbook. They give you all of the information, all the slides, all their notes on the slides, a ton of information. And it really had a huge impact on us in how we treat people, how we interact with people, how we continue to grow and build out our tribe and make sure that we do it in a way that serves us and first and foremost serves others. The great thing about the Center of NLP versus some of the other NLP teachers, and don't get me wrong, any NLP is better than none, but it's very important to me that it be lots of credibility and you can kind of vet the information all the way back. One of the concepts that we learned is the power of true lineage and being a true lineage holder and being able to trace that lineage back to its source. So, for example, my NLP lineage goes back to Brigitta, Christian, and John, and from there goes back to Leif Roland and goes right back to Richard Bandler himself. So I am a 4th generation, Brigitta 3rd, Leif 2nd, right back to that the initial creator of NLP, or one of the initial creators of NLP, Richard Bandler. So I can track that back. So I know the person that's teaching me didn't learn this from some overnight sensation internet guru. These are actually tried and true people who have a vested interest in making sure that their students perform and we continue to perform well.
Yeah, thank you for that. And we go through that practice, and within the Crossroads, we do a lot of hands-on practices where you get to experience for yourself. Us telling you is one thing, and teaching you is incredible knowledge right there with the vetted teachers and the vetted grandmasters, but you really going deeper into it yourself, so it becomes your own information. Because NLP at the end of the day is like a language within our language. It is It is a belief within our belief, and applying that where you have complete and utter ownership in yourself. And whatever that ownership is different from Major, than different to Jeannie or Danielle or myself, but it becomes your own information. And that's what makes it so powerful. I also want to speak to, in the Crossroads, we go into defense of the dark arts, Major, and tell me how you feel about that.
Oh, I love the defense against the dark arts training. It's one of those things where we now really have a full understanding after having gone through the course that everything that we intake is part of our diet, not just the food we eat, but the television we watch, the audio programs that we hear, the radio that we listen to, the conversation that we have with other people. And Defense Against the Dark Arts gives us those lenses through which we can see our world moving forward. Is this something that I let into me? Is this something that I need to hold space and make sure that we keep separate? And the Defense Against the Dark Arts really gave us that ability. And the great thing about these courses and working with Center of NLP is, as you said, Brigitta, you really give us the opportunity to make the information our own. And I'm coming back to audit the course again. It's part of the original fee that we paid, lets us come back again and again. So I know we all have that favorite book or that favorite movie, and we've watched it 1,000 times, right? We get in that stress and anxiety and we go back to it because we know exactly what's going to happen. And even though we already know the content, there's still things that stand out, things that we hear differently the second time around. And being able to do that with the Center of NLP content has been huge for me. I'm super high knowledge. I have to be, perfect or as good as I can be at everything that I do. So it gives me the ability to go back and take full ownership of that information, revisit the things that I missed, relearn the things that I picked up the first time but maybe didn't get completely, and continue to work through it until I reach that unconscious competence, and it just becomes effortless. It's just a habit that I do throughout my everyday life.
Yeah, I so appreciate that unconscious competence, because that in itself is true mastery. And you only get that when you're consistent and persistent in continuing to learn and pour into yourself and grow. And I want to speak to that because a lot of people ask me, Major, about the programming within NLP. What does the programming mean? And the program is what you just said, right? The defense against the dark arts. Wherever there is that, where we run a program, might we be aware of it or not aware of it? Wherever there's a program, there's also a counter program. And no one can go against your values unless they overwrite your values, because they're only coming from a place of ego. If you've ever heard me speak, you will hear me say it's got to be a win-win-win. Whenever we communicate, whenever we build a relationship, whenever we build rapport, it must be on a win-win-win basis. Because if it's only one win, then it's ego, and only one person wins and the other person then doesn't win. That's not okay with me. I don't know about you guys, but that's not okay with me. Now, when you win and I win, that's a nice thing, and that's your usual win-win scenarios. But we really come with the Center of NLP, come from a win-win-win, a win for you, a win for us, and a win for the greater good, the community, the people that you work with, your family, your team, whoever it is. There's got to be a greater win, and that's that ripple that a lot of people talk about. And we're going to go through that within the defense against the dark arts. So the meaning of the programming itself, the possibilities of deprogramming or counter programming. So we're going to share these strategies with you on that. And then, I guess that question comes actually before everything else. Are you even aware of the programs that you're running, or even worse, the programs that are running you, right? And that's a real problem. So we've got to, as we grow into mastery, we've got to be able to see, is it influence? Is it manipulation? Is it supportive? Is it not supportive? A lot of people that I have been interviewed by ask, so NLP, the programming, is that considered manipulation? I said, well, for some people, if it's only a win, it is manipulation, right? If it's a win-win-win, it is an influence. It's impactful for not just one person, but for everyone involved. And now the intention is pure. The intention is a win-win-win and not just a win. So the difference between manipulation and influence is the intent behind it, and that's it. And I'm going to say that again because a lot of people need to hear that. The difference between manipulation and influence is the intention, and that's it. So within the Crossroads, we also go through many other strategies. I mean, we have content-rich information, post-hypnotic suggestions, mass post-hypnotic suggestions, and how you form them. So you get to write them within the course as well. And then we can also go, or we are also going through the remembering process, because everything can be made up. But if you can remember it, now we have that ownership again, right? Because when you remember it, you've already gone through it yourself. You think back and you remember it. Very easy, comes back to you at a very easy step. Major, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, the remembering process has been great for me. I have a tendency to just take all of the information, as much as information as I can, and I feel like I'm getting something out of having just consumed it. And I have a lot of stories that start with and and um and I realize it doesn't really serve me if we can't remember it. And remembering has been great for me in helping create those win-win-win scenarios, because people have a tendency to remember specific parts of interactions but not remember the entire interaction. So by kind of reverse engineering and using the remembering process with my clients, I'm able to make sure I address all of their concerns and really focus their memory on remembering the key takeaways that I want them to have as they move forward with my company.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh, that's powerful. And you, as you're watching this, you'll remember watching this and going, oh, I'm so glad I took the next steps that Brigitta is about to explain to me, because that is absolutely life-changing. You see, this is only for a few people. This is not for everyone. Crossroads, just the defense against the dark arts, that's already not for everyone. So if this speaks to you, and when this speaks to you, I want you to write down the next steps that I'm about to share with you. You know, Major, I think, have you not done like martial arts?
Yeah, I did. I did martial arts as a child coming up. That was one of the things that my parents were very passionate about as a child growing up. I'm 6.5 feet tall and have been since middle school. So they said, you're doing martial arts because we want to make sure that you use your power for good, as opposed to the other alternative. It's kind of become a corny, almost blasé thing to say, but that they say with great power comes great responsibility. And defense against the dark arts, I feel like, and really all of the NLP success patterns really come with that. It could be heavy if you let it. I have a tendency when things are heavy, I just put them down. But
Good at what?
you
Good advice.
yes, but you have to make sure that you're coming from a place of compassion and concern and caring, and really generating that win-win-win. So that way we're coming with high integrity into the situation, because as you said, the only difference between influence and manipulation is our intent. And with the wrong intent, these patterns are just as powerful. And very glad that Brigitta has the vetting process that she does for her students, because as a light army, we can go out here and really spread the good news, spread the light, and be that change we want to see in the world.
Yeah, true words spoken. And to go back to the martial arts, and Tony Robbins even said it, you cannot skip steps. You cannot just go and start martial arts and go from white belt to black belt. That's just not how it works. Right. So in NLP, it's exactly the same. As a certified NLP practitioner, you have to earn the steps, you have to earn the belts, and you are continuously, as you are implementing what you're learning, you're continuously getting to that next level. But implementation is a big part, and you choose how, quick or slow. There's no judgment. However fast or not fast you want to go, that's really up to you. But knowing that these strategies that we're teaching you within each program, maybe the practitioner and then Crossroads and then the master practitioner and then the trainer and then the coaching certification and then the master to grandmaster and so on and so forth, gives you and increases your authority, influence, and power. And by power, I mean for good, right? Like you said, Major, with great power comes great responsibility. And you have that responsibility. And I personally, if I watch you, and I will, not just you, Major, but everyone that takes our courses, I watch and I will call out when it is being misused, right? So use it for the good, do never misuse it. So this is so advanced material. It is something that we're not just teaching, we're giving it to you so you can put it to work in your business, in your personal life. And for Major and myself, this is a personal invitation for you to come, take Crossroads, retake Crossroads, because you're going to hear something the next time you retake it, because when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So this is my call to you. We're going to have our next Crossroads, March 20, I'm looking at my calendar here, March 23rd, is that correct? No, March 14th, I'm sorry, March 7th, here we go, March 7th through the 11th, and then March 14th through 18th. So it's going to be Monday through Friday the first week, and then Monday through Friday the second week. This is ongoing. It's not either or. You start March 7th and we end March 18th, and it starts at 12 o'clock Eastern or 9 o'clock a.m. Pacific, wherever you are. And it's for 2 hours every day, Monday through Friday, March 7th. I'm going to blend in the dates here as well. So March 7th through the 18th, we will not have a class on Saturday and Sunday. So it'll be Monday through Friday and Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock a.m. Pacific time, and 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, March 7th through the 18th, Monday through Friday, Monday through Friday. Take this important step to your ongoing journey with NLP. We have very limited space. I personally do not allow big groups in our courses because I don't want it to be cluttered. I want to make sure that you are getting the knowledge and the information that you need to get. And we do that with hands-on exercises as well. So as you're on a crossroads to your journey, this is the path that you're going to take. Ask yourself, are you going to continue the programming that you're running, or even worse, that's running you? Or are you ready for a counter program? NLP practitioners, this is the time. Let's make it happen. All you got to do, I'm going to blend it in. You got to apply now and click on this link, centerofnlp.com/product/crossroads of NLP. I will blend that in as well. And know that the universe rewards one thing and one thing only, and that's those that take action. So thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing us to pour into you. I wish you a beautiful week, and we will see you at the next Crossroads, March 7th through the 18th.